also went in, he saw and believed. Words we heard this morning from the Gospel in accordance with the record of St. John, chapter 21 to 9. John went into the tomb, saw, and then believed in the resurrection. Today, we haven't seen the tomb empty. We didn't go in, but we have become believers in the resurrection because we believe the testimony of those who witnessed it. And we also know that historically speaking, there are enough evidence to confirm that Jesus indeed rose from the dead. Yes, indeed, he is risen. And that is why today we have joyfully come together, joining the entire church and indeed the Christian world to celebrate our Easter festival, the resurrection of Jesus Christ from the dead. The doctrine of resurrection teaches that Jesus Christ, after his crucifixion and death on the cross, was buried. Then 3 days after the burial, he rose back to life by his own power on a Sunday morning. That is the resurrection. Jesus Christ, while on earth, did a lot of miracles, and his teachings were exceptional. Although these miracles and teachings point to his divinity as God, but they are not enough in themselves to confirm that Jesus is God. After all, before his coming, there were prophets and priests who were also given the same power by God to perform miracles, to teach, and some of them even raised the dead. But in the history of human salvation, only one person, and indeed only Jesus Christ, had got that power to resurrect himself from the dead. And therefore, the resurrection of Jesus Christ from the dead by his own power is the foundation of the Christian religion, Christian faith. If the resurrection hadn't happened, there wouldn't be anything like Christianity. Therefore, it is right to say that it is the resurrection of Jesus Christ from the dead that gives Christianity its distinctive character and meaning. However, it is not enough for us to celebrate the Easter festival. We must also understand the implication of the resurrection of Jesus Christ in our lives. What does the resurrection of Jesus Christ communicate to our psychology as Christians? How does that affect our lives as Christians? Otherwise, our Easter celebration will be a mere fulfillment of ritual. So we must have a developed psychology of what Easter is and how it helps us on our journey of life. Today, within the context of today's homily, let's just look at two implications or how the resurrection impacts our everyday life. Number one, the power of God. One thing that communicates hopelessness, defeat, and helplessness is death and then burial. Once someone is certified dead, medically speaking, and then there is a funeral, it is over. Nothing can be done about it. It is what it is. The case is finished. Now, in the case of Jesus Christ, after his death, those who buried him went an extra mile to make it impossible for any intervention, any help, or any rescue in case coming to him. After his burial, they covered the tomb with a big stone, as we read last night. As we also read, the women who were coming to the tomb this morning, as we read in today's gospel, we are worried about the stone because the stone was so big. So they were worried, who's going to push the stone away from us? Who's going to push it away from us? Then after the tomb was covered with a big stone, they stationed soldiers around that place to watch over it. However, on that Sunday morning, while the soldiers were still actively watching over the tomb, something miraculous, something supernatural happened. The stone was rolled away and the tomb was opened, and the body of Jesus Christ was no longer there. Something supernatural had taken place. Something possible had become a reality. And that is the power of the resurrection. And that is the power of God. The power that defies and that is not limited or bound by law of nature. The power that's not regulated by human protocol. The power that brings back to life that which has been declared dead. The power that communicates hope to that reality that has been termed hopelessness. The power that can also turn my own life around. The power that can regenerate my story. The power that can revitalize my dream. The power that can make things new again in my life. The power that can reassure me that after the winter, the spring will come up and then the green and the leaves will become alive and grainy again. The power that can defy even medical procedure just to give me instant healing of my cancer, of whatever I am passing through. That is the power of the resurrection. After his burial, his disciples and followers, they went away hopeless. They went away feeling defeated and helpless. However, the power of the resurrection tells me that before God, there is nothing like a hopeless situation. There is nothing before God that is hopeless. Only that we sometimes grow hopeless because we are human. But before God, there is no situation that can ever be hopeless. And before God, with the power of the resurrection, no believer in the resurrection of Jesus Christ can ever be defeated or feel helpless, because on the Sunday morning of your life, even the dead can rise again, and things will begin to flourish again, and things will begin to spring up again in your life. Do you believe in this power? Do you believe that this power is still evident and still working in the world? Or do you think that what happened in Jerusalem on that Sunday morning was more or less a one-off thing? If you believe this power, you're going to experience it in your personal life and circumstance. It is just about personal conviction. That power is still at work. That I can give you an assurance. The second thing that the resurrection of Jesus Christ communicates to me is the faithfulness of God. That God is faithful. Way before his arrest and death, Jesus Christ, on various instances, told his disciples and his followers, both in a metaphor and also in clear terms, that he will resurrect from the dead after 3 days. But nobody believed him, not even his closest friends. He kept saying at every given intervals, but they didn't believe him. The women we read today in the gospel who rushed to the tomb on that Sunday morning, they weren't going to the tomb to witness the resurrection, not at all. They weren't going to the tomb to know if he had resurrected as he claimed. That wasn't in their mind. They were going to the grave, to the tomb, with spices to anoint his dead body, according to the Jewish tradition and culture. And that was why when they got there and they didn't see the body, they immediately assumed that the body had been stolen. So they went back to Peter to report, we don't find the body again. For these women, they were not thinking of the resurrection, because when Jesus said he was going to resurrect, nobody believed him. And that is why the passage we read today in the gospel ended by saying, even up to that moment, they didn't believe the scripture that says he's going to rise. So the resurrection story and the resurrection event tells me that I have a God who is absolutely faithful to what he says he's going to do. If he says he's going to do this, then consider it done, because he's going to do it. When? I don't know. So why should I doubt when he says to me, Nathaniel, don't worry, everything will be fine? When will that happen? I don't know. How will it happen? I don't know. But will it happen? Yes, it will happen, because he is faithful. If he says he was going to resurrect, and when everybody doubted that he resurrected, then why should I doubt him when he tells me everything will be fine? On Friday, I told you that as far as you have breath in you, as far as you still take in oxygen, your story is not ended. It's only unfolding. So that if it's so bad today, you shouldn't conclude that is how it's going to be. No. The resurrection tells us that there will be a new story to that story. It's just unfolding. On that bright Sunday morning, I don't know when it will be, when hope will be communicated to that hopeless situation. When the story will take a new twist and then take a new interesting and a very wonderful dimension. When that which is dead, we pronounce life again. When God will restore life to all that I have lost. When God will bring breath of fresh air into my story. When God will revitalize all that I've been going through and give me that story of resurrection that talks about newness of life, newness of beginning. So, dear friends, if we have this kind of mentality, this kind of psychology, the psychology of the resurrection, then we have graduated successfully from believing merely in the doctrine of the resurrection to living the life powered by resurrection. That is, that our God is powerful and he can do even the impossible just to bring about his power, freedom, salvation, and redemption to his people. And that this God of mine is faithful to his word, to his promises. If you ask me, is he going to do something new in your life? I'm going to tell you, yes. If you ask me, when will that be? Unfortunately, I may not be able to tell you. If you ask me how it's going to happen, I don't even know. But what do I know? I know he's going to do it. Why? Because he has the power to do it. Because he is faithful. And that is the psychology of the resurrection. So let us not just come on Easter Day, eat, drink wine. I hope you have a lot to drink at home. Those who don't have, I think I have some bottles to share, So it's not just about coming here to celebrate Mass and go home and take our wine and take our lovely dishes and delicious dishes. Let us also develop the psychology of the resurrection. The psychology is that we have got a God who is so powerful that he can do even the impossible to put a smile on my face. And when he says he's going to do it, he's going to do it. And that is my Easter message to you all. And I wish that all the members of St. Anthony and all those who have come here to worship with us, we no longer see Easter simply as a festival that happens every year, but also that Easter could also be a way of living, having developed the psychology of the resurrection. The psychology that even the dead will rise. Even that which has been communicated hopeless can become a new reality again. Something beautiful can happen even from the grave. The stone that holds me down can be removed, and it will be removed because he is powerful and he is faithful.